So recently I got to know a bit more about as to how sales goes in a B2B SaaS company. Now, obviously, what I learned is that a general framework, not necessarily that in every company it would be same. It can be a bit different based upon their needs and whatever they want to do. So, first of all, what are the different positions? First, I learned this, then SDR, BDR, AM, and CSM. If I'm not wrong, yes, CSM. So first is SDR. It's I think sales development representatives. Their job is to like they get inbound leads from the company. Company gives them the inbound leads, and their job is to just make sure those inbound leads get converted into qualified meeting, not demo meeting, qualified meeting. BDR same job as SDR, but instead of inbound, they will get outbound leads. Like inbound means basically the customer or potential customer, whatever, they sign up to the products through either the email, maybe through newsletter, whatever. Like company, so the customer goes to the company and is interested in the product. But in outbound case, the company has to go out and then search for those potential customer and then convince them. So that's the BDR job, which is going outside and convincing other people to buy the product and to get into a meeting. SDR job is they get the leads and their job is just convert those leads into qualified meeting. From there comes the job of I think account executive. If I'm not wrong about the full form, their job is to just turn those uh like their job is to turn those qualified meetings into sales. Then comes the AM, I think account manager. Their job is to make sure the current customers, the current clients, like their job is to make sure they sell more to those current clients. If a current client is paying 5,000, a same job is to make sure that they're able to sell more to those current clients, can be turning those 5,000 to 6,000, 7,000, whatever. Then comes the CSM job. I what's the full form for CSM? I don't remember it, but I know that their job is to just make sure that whatever customer they have as of right now, they just don't leave. Their job is to make sure they stay in the they stay with them and use the product for a long period of time. And also they can also do some upsells and I can increase the per value customer. Like instead of 5,000 they can sell something so that the customer pays 6,000. Now obviously it depends upon company to company, not necessary every company follow this structure. Depends upon which some might follow this, some might be like they just keep SDR, but the job be responsible to be same as an SDR and BDR. Same goes for AEM. It depends. And as to how do they like, let's say if like I'm right now preparing for the SDR role, so my job is to make sure what's the exact name I'm not remembering. Yes, my job is to make sure is build an ICP and qualify a prospect. ICP means ideal customer profile, if I'm not wrong about the full form. So let's say if a software sells, like it is sell to a particular industry, whatever, like it's like a SaaS software for HR. Okay, like let's say that's like I know there are many different types of software. So how when it comes to building an ICP is, so let's say if my SaaS software is for HR departments, I would first go as to okay which company I would target, and no first I go to which region, it can be country in such a case. Then I'll go to which industry I'm targeting. In that industry there can be sub industries, and then I will check which revenue, like what's the revenue that I'm targeting, whether that enterprise like $1 billion level, billion, more than billion, plus 100 500 million to billion, bit 100 to 500, bit more than 10, depends upon which revenue, which company I'm targeting based on revenue, or it can be based on employees also. Depends upon the software selling. If it's a software, like you earn more money by the number of users who use the software, then you will obviously go for employee. If it's based on then revenue, then you will go for revenue. Then you will then select which department is it for. Like, let's say in the example I say HR, so obviously you will pick the HR department, and in that also you will pick the seniority, like who is the most senior, most who is the decision maker holder, who can approve the deals and stuff like that. Because if you speak to anyone else apart from that, there's a, there will be friction, there can be time delay and stuff like that. So it's better just you talk to the senior people, whoever is in charge of all this. So that's how you build an ICP. And then there comes qualifying a prospect, which is there's a this formula, I think, I don't know the formula stuff like is band. This basically BANT. It means budget, authority, need, and timeline. If I'm not wrong about the full one, budget means whether do have the budget, whether those people who I'm talking about, those senior HR people, sen, uh, those top um, those top people in those HR community, sorry, HR departments, do they have the budget to even buy this? Do they have even the authority to deal with make this decision, or do they even have the need, which is end part? Do, does this sound wrong? Like, do they have the need to do they have the need to even buy this? And is this the right time for them? Can be right time depends upon, like, let's say when you after qualifying the prospect, let's say the account executive, they don't want to deal right now, they maybe want to deal with this type of person the next quarter, then you will obviously um book the meeting or book that qualified meeting based on next quarter. So is it the right time basically? And that's the job of an SDR. It's simple and same time, I guess. I don't know, like I just got an idea today as of right now as to, okay, these are different app positions, this is how it is done. And yeah, that's it. Let's see, is there anything else that I yep, that's it. And obviously the when it comes to KPIs, meaning what are the key things based on my performance is measured. It is how much meetings are qualified, and how much qualified meetings I have done, and what's the pipeline generated. Basically, whatever qualified meetings I've done, what could be the potential revenue of those qualified meetings that is pipeline generated in my case. And obviously, to do this, you need to make sure how many. To this, you need to see how many calls and how many emails are you doing in a day, and how many meetings are getting booked. So yeah, that's it. Let's see how this thing goes. I will keep you guys updated on this thing more.